Hello everyone, Collected Anime here, and I've been requested to react to the My Little Pony Cookies Infection AU. Once again, YouTube, before you get on my ass cheeks, I got permission to react to it. So and for interruptions, let's get to it.
You guys have been asking me to cover the My Little Pony's cookie virus created by Anxiety Monster on TikTok for a while now. And I have to admit, this story was...
Who the hell are you? Who are you? Who are you? I want to say the Fluttershy, but god dang.
actually really well done, but very...
Oh. Not the child. Oh, frick, Apple Bloom. Apple Bloom, you're about to get packed up. I ain't gonna hold you.
bad. And for those of you that may not be aware, this Infection AU is based on a My Little Pony episode called 28 Pranks Later. And in that episode, we actually see Rainbow Dash is playing a bunch of pranks on the other ponies until they eventually decide to give her a taste of her own medicine. And we see this when Rainbow purchases a bunch of these prank cookies that are supposed to turn the muzzles of these ponies rainbow with the help of Pinkie Pie.
Spoiler alert, it backfired.
The whole town actually starts to act like zombies, giving the impressions that there was something.
Oh yeah, also before we get into the AU, I have heard it gives nightmares, and and yes, Mr. Stave's obvious over here. It is horrifying. So
that made them change.
This is your last opportunity to back down.
That was all a prank. But this AU actually shows us a reality where there actually was something in those cookies that turns the pony.
And that's why I don't do drugs, kids. Definitely do not do crack.
Into zombies. And since the name 28 Pranks Later is based on the horror movie 28 Days Later, we can assume that the ingredients gives off similar effects as the rage virus. But now that you know what this AU is based on, let's go ahead and see how the story actually unfolds. Now the story starts off by showing us
You see, kids, this is exactly why you don't do crack. Look at this. Got her sheathing from ear to ear.
Journal entry that showcases the stages of the infection, with Twilight as the first example. And in this stage, while the ponies are very...
I am loving the art style too. It's somewhat sane, but very hungry. They crave the cookie. They infected with what the fuck? What the frick type of? Let me get this straight. You are eating the cookies from the stomach.
Hungry, they still have some of their sanity. And at this point, the only thing that they crave are the cookies that infected them. We also learn that the rainbow muzzle is one of the first outward signs of the infection. The ponies will either have a big smile or a huge frown, which will be important later. And at this stage, they are also starting to go blind. Now, stage 2 is where things start to get really bad. While the ponies are not completely insane yet, their hunger is so strong that they will chase down anyone or anything and start to feast on it. And they're doing this just for the off chance that the victim may have just eaten some cookies and their stomach hasn't fully digested them yet. So yes, you heard that right. They're hunting people down so that they can
eat cookies
out of their
What did
stomach.
I literally not just say?
Interestingly enough, this is a stage where like their insides start to rot away, their hair and feathers start to fall out, and you can start to see them losing a little bit of weight. At stage 3, the pony is completely insane, losing their ability to speak, their mouth starts to stretch, and their eyes...
No, those eyes... Hang on. Yeah, wish me good luck actually going to sleep tonight, god dang. Talk about chopped cheese, quite literally.
Eyes actually sink far into their skulls. And while the mutation is different for each pony, the one constant in this stage is that their hunger demands that they hunt down and feed on other ponies. And as of now, the best thing to do when you see the infected is to just run away. In part 2, we get to see Rainbow Dash's journal, and we learn that she is keeping it because she feels like she is the reason this outbreak has started, and writing down the events to help her cope with this. But we also learn that AJ, aka Applejack, Rarity, and Faders, which includes Scootaloo, Sweetie Belle, and Apple Bloom, are all together with Rainbow Dash hiding in the Sweet Acres barn. And all the ponies are basically trying to scrap together any food and weapons that they can find, keep the kids calm, and also avoid Rainbow. And as far as they know, they are the only unaffected people in Ponyville right now. They know for sure that Twilight and Fluttershy are already infected.
It was Fluttershy? It was Fluttershy? That's Fluttershy. Hold on. So you're telling me... So what you're telling me... Let me find the frame. This monstrosity
virus created by
is Fluttershy. That thing.
Bell, and Apple Bloom are all together with Rainbow Dash hiding in the Sweet Acres barn. And all the ponies are basically trying to scrap together any food and weapons that they can find, keep the kids calm, and also avoid Rainbow. And as far as they...
As the older sibling, I can confirm I cannot come to the kids for crap. Nah, I'm the last person you should rely on to come to kids.
No, they're the only
Don't take that out of
people
context.
in Ponyville right now. They know for sure that Twilight and Fluttershy are already infected, but they don't know anything about Pinkie Pie at the moment. But she was one of the first ponies to actually eat the cookies, which doesn't bode well. This is Pie, a tiny queen.
Darn it! I knew I should have got YouTube Premium.
Which doesn't bode well. Next, we see the stages for the frowning ponies, and it is pretty much the same.
It is Fluttershy. That thing is Fluttershy. The shy one of the group. The one that was scared of a freaking chicken. That's her.
But Fluttershy makes it a bit interesting. When she reaches stage 2, she started eating small animals, and as you all know, Fluttershy is kind of like a Disney.
No. I forgot what that rabbit name was.
Not only do the forest critters love her, but she can also talk to them.
She ain't
and that
Angel.
makes this extra depressing because
she put Angel on the full. She put Angel on the full menu. No, she turned Angel to a freaking rabbit. No, she turned Angel to a 7-day foot-long deal.
basically just devoured all her little critter friends. The third stage of the infection is pretty much the same as the smiling ponies, but the fourth stage...
Ew. Hang on. How are you getting these pictures?
is where the infection peaks. And in this stage, the pony is unrecognizable. At this point, the ponies are blind, but they do have a great sense of hearing and also a good sense of smell. They can also move very silently and will...
That thing is Fluttershy. That thing. Hang on. So what you're telling me... These two are the same person. Actually, no. These two are the same pony. I need a charger. Don't have to look for the video again.
The pony is unrecognizable. At this point, the ponies are blind, but they do have a great sense of hearing and also a good sense of smell. They can also move very silently, and we'll learn later that they can even mimic the voices of ponies that they've taken out. When we
Dang! Dang! She died before she could have alcohol. VP could never.
see that the ponies' luck have finally run out when infected Granny Smith finding their hiding place, forcing the ponies to pack up and run before she can get to them. The ponies got into a cart with AJ and Rainbow Dash pulling it, only to see that Granny Smith was kind of...
How are you letting the old lady get up to you? How are you letting her catch up to you?
Which is a problem, because AJ and Rainbow Dash are two of the fastest
Her
ponies,
ankle or
period.
dinosaur
so the fact
age
that
is
this
old.
old grandma can keep up with them tells us that this virus definitely turns ponies into more of like a rage zombie from 28 Days Later. The Last of Us would be a good example. World War Z also works. The point being that when these ponies get infected, it doesn't matter if they're old and fragile. This virus will have them
Mia is younger than me.
like the typical zombies. Now, the sad part about this scene is that Apple Bloom wants to stop and help her grandmother because she doesn't actually really understand what's happening here.
Apple Bloom, I get the fact you're a child, but look at her and look at me. Look me dead in the face and tell me she's worth saving. She's gone, mate. I don't know how to put it to you. my sister, I don't know how to put it to you, so I'm just gonna flat out say it. She gone. There's no help for her. She just
But
gone.
luckily, her big sister's there to remind her that Granny Smith is not their family anymore, which may be harsh, but it is the truth. And also, to put a point on it, next we see Big Mac.
No! Why? The top 10 character of the show. Why? Why do you have to do my boy like that? Why do you have to do my boy like that, man?
Toss jump in front of the girls, cutting off their path and forcing them to swerve and crash
I'm
the
talking
cart.
swerve in the
During
carnival.
tumble, it looks like Rainbow Dash had her wing banged up pretty badly, and while it may not be completely broken, she's definitely not going to be flying on it anytime soon. Beat up and bruised, the girls make their way to a shed in the middle of the orchard so that they can at least have a place to hide and recover. And while everybody is huddled in the shed trying to rest, we see this eyeball peeking in at them, watching them sleep.
Kitchen isn't the only thing working overtime this holiday
Damn it.
season.
Watching them sleep. Now, part 5 kind of starts with a bang, because we see that the ponies have woken up and they're starting to pack their supplies for their trip out of Ponyville.
They can really do this.
Big Mac attacks
Isn't that some? Didn't she do something like that inside of freaking?
They can tell that it's about to break.
Didn't she do something like this in Equestria Girls?
And right before the magic barrier broke, we see Pinkie Pie dash in with a powerful
The one animator's worst fear: sunlight.
flashlight and shines it into Big Mac's eyes, causing him to howl and run away. And I imagine since the infected ponies' eyes are weak now, bright lights are probably torture for them. I assume it would be akin to like sitting in a dark room all day and then someone suddenly just opens the curtains. But times that pain.
Man, that used to always piss me off when my mother had to wake me up for school and she does open the curtain and I just get flashbang, man.
Now with Big Mac gone, the ponies are all able to follow Pinkie
Pinkie's
Pie.
alive,
And once they're
yay!
finally far enough away, Rainbow tries to run over and hug her, only to be pushed away. And then we see why. Pinkie's muzzle
That's
is
perfect.
rainbow, showing that she is definitely infected, although she tells the other ponies that she's clean.
That's what she said.
She also has a large scar down her face, showing that she's definitely been through something. Now, after the quick reunion, she tells the ponies to follow her to Fluttershy's home, which is where she's been bunkered
to the crib,
up since
alright.
Fluttershy seems to be missing, and her house is also out in the woods, which means fewer infected should be around. One of the sad things that I noticed when we
It was at that moment he knew. He fucked up.
actually see Fluttershy's house is that there are a few little animals laying around, half eaten.
Dang! She truly did pack them up. She packed up Angel. She truly did pack up Angel.
Confirming that she has been picking off her little critters. But on a happier note, Pinkie Pie is able to bandage up AJ and Rainbow, but then
I know
they have
that
to have
hurt
a
like
hard
hell.
conversation. And that is them asking Pinkie Pie if she's actually infected. And not wanting the children to hear, Pinkie gets Rainbow to go into a separate room with her. But instead of revealing if she's infected or not, Pinkie instead breaks down into tears, saying that this is all her fault. And in the next chapter, we learn that Pinkie Pie was the one to feed everyone the cookies because they wanted to play a prank on Rainbow Dash, just like in the original episode. But the difference in this AU is that the cookies actually did make Pinkie Pie sick, but she was so hell-bent on going through with this prank that she ignored the sickness and got all the other ponies to eat the cookies as well. And this next part I found very
Drug
interesting.
dealer.
Rainbow lies down next to Pinkie and places a
I did not
wing
know
around
Pinkie Pie
her,
was a
letting
drug
her
dealer.
know that none of this is her fault. And then Pinkie asked the question that has been on my mind the whole time, which was,
The
what did
hell
you
is
put in those
inside those
cookies that
cookies?
made ponies become like this? And Rainbow responds by letting her know that she didn't make the cookies. She actually special ordered them for someone in Canterlot, which may imply that there is a potential
Ah, so now I see. She does cookies, but they're really just selling drugs.
outbreak already going
They-
on
what
in
type of drug? You
Canterlot,
talking
or
cocaine?
it's brewing. After
That's
that,
good,
the
good
ponies
kush.
hear someone outside screaming for help, and when Apple Bloom heard the pony, she decided to rush out and help them. AJ tries to stop her, but Apple Bloom pulls away and says that there's a pony out there who needs help. Our family's gone, Applejack, just like you said. I have to help any pony I can before it's too late. And she bursts out the door, heading towards the sound of the screaming pony, only to find Fluttershy, who is definitely not a normal pony anymore.
That not Fluttershy. I don't care what the frick y'all guys say. That not Fluttershy. Leave me alone, god dang it.
And being so shocked at the trickery, Apple Bloom is stunned and just looking up at this monstrosity until we see
Dang. Dang. She done put her in the 404 menu. Treat that. No, she treated Apple Bloom like a foot. I can't not speak for the life of me. God dang. It is. What? It is 10:48. My brain is malfunctioning. She put her on the 4 for $4 menu. She treated her like a biggie bag from Wendy's. She ate her up like a cookie from Subway.
Fluttershy take a huge bite out of her, basically cutting her in half. And I have to be honest, I was not expecting the kids to be turned or eaten in this AU. So this lets us know that this is going to get real dark real fast.
Good and tasty.
You did not have to do it like that, Orce Force. Orce Force, you did not have to do it like that.
I'm Stephanie, actor and Walmart Plus member. I'm her body.
After that gruesome scene, we learn that
Wait, what
everyone
that say?
witnessed wake Pinkie Pie up
What the hell?
full of violence, or at least everyone except Sweetie Belle, who charged the creature and lit up her horn, only to be devoured.
Bro, that's your main character. Who are both feeling like is my only question. Who is both feeling like? Because I know dang well for a fact they ain't Percy Jackson.
As well. This second death finally seemed
She put both of them on the 4 menu. Treated her like a Subway sandwich.
to wake Pinkie Pie up, and she pulled out her flashlight to blind the creature, and then shuffled everyone back into the protection of the cottage. And then she's immediately jumped on by Applejack. And while I understand that she's upset that she just lost her little...
Now listen, as a older civil myself, I cannot blame her for being mad. Because if someone killed it, Fleetway 14, go subscribe to him, or Blueberry Wolf, I'm not related to her, but I'd be pissed off too.
sister, she's acting like she didn't just sit there and watch her sister get attacked as well. If she would have
Shit.
attacked that pony as
You ain't
quickly as
wrong,
she
though.
attacked Pinkie Pie just now,
Let's
maybe
be honest,
the
you
girl
ain't
would
wrong
live.
though.
But luckily the other ponies are able to calm her down and actually come up with a plan so no more ponies will be eaten. And we see Pinkie say that Ponyville is done for at this rate. The infected will start leaving the town and invading the rest of Equestria, meaning that they need to get to Canterlot and warn everyone
If the fish can get the counter lot, they're officially cooked, bro. There ain't no helping this.
ASAP. So they decide that the fastest and safest way to get to Canterlot is by taking a train. Let's just hope this doesn't turn into a train to Busan type situation. So after about 2 days, the ponies got their supplies together and started to head for the train station. And as the ponies were walking, they started to
Where's
hear
Spike?
laughter out in the distance.
I'm just realizing
But this laughter didn't sound normal, but rather broken and sinister. And then they noticed that the laughter started getting closer to them, as if something had heard them and was now moving towards them. And then we see a gray pony emerge out of the forest and started to chase them. And while it's hard to tell who this pony is, considering
if they did Derpy like this, I swear to God, I'm about to crash out.
that they are gray, I think that this might be Derpy. And to make matters worse, after they spotted that one pony,
Who the hell are you? Nah. Who are you? Who are you? Where do you come from? What the hell? What the hell inside? What the frick? Is this a bat pony over here? That I feel like that's Big Mac. Is that a bat pony?
bunch more started to chase them as well. But luckily, they were able to make it to the train, and it seems to be in good shape, although there were some blood trails inside the cab, which is to be expected in an apocalypse. Next, we get to see just how strong these infected ponies are, with the fact that they were able to break through the thick glass of the train windows with little effort. And if given enough time, they definitely would have broken this train. But before they could actually do that, the train starts to move, and the ponies were able to safely get out of town. In the next chapter, we learn that it will take the ponies about 3 hours to make it to Canterlot, and in order to pass the time, Pinkie lets the group know how she got the scars on her face. And we learn that when the outbreak first happened, Pinkie Pie actually paired up with a pony named Lyra. She fed her and gave her a safe place to...
Where's Bonbon? Did Bonbon get infected? Bonbon? Is that Bonbon? Dang. To those who never watched Friendship and Magic, these two a lesbian couple.
Rest, but that night when they went to sleep, Lyra...
Did you pray today? Did you pray today? Did you pray today? Nah, who both feeling like? Both feeling like Santa Undertale.
Took an axe to Pinkie Pie's face, thinking that she was going to mutate just like the other ponies did. And thinking that she had taken Pinkie out, she ran off, and Pinkie hasn't seen her since. And it seems like the infection is the only reason that she was able to survive and heal, which is a horrible realization, because this means that the infected ponies are way more durable than we initially thought, and even if you take an axe to their face, they'll still be able to heal themselves. Now, after that conversation, Scootaloo pulls back Pinkie's hair and asks her how she got the giant teeth marks on her neck. And then we see Pinkie freak out, screaming that she's not talking about that scar, scaring Scootaloo and angering the other ponies. But then we have this cute moment where Pinkie apologizes, saying, "I'm sorry, Scootaloo, that one's a sad story." And Scoot responds by saying, "Can I make it a happy one?" We then see her come up with a story of Pinkie finding a little puppy who gets a little bit too excited while they're playing, and it bites her on the neck, but then apologizes and licks the wound to try to make it better. And I think this serves as a bit of a reminder just how young Scoot is, because we all know where that bite likely came from. But her story does make Pinkie happy, and it also takes some of the tension out of the room until they spot something on the train tracks. And this pony seems to have
I was about to say that already in time for Remember She Thrives.
And once we get a closer look at it, we
get
see
that thing away from me, goddamn, that just scared the piss out of me.
Your Honor, I would like to present Exhibit A.
Look at it, we see that this is definitely Twilight Sparkle. And I was happy to see that even though some of the ponies wanted to stop, Pinkie said, heck no, it's best we run that thing over rather.
Now listen, if I was inside a situation, I'm about to put that thing on full throttle. I'm putting all the coal in that stack. Put that thing on the highest pressure it can.
And I agree 100%. What's the point of having
Applejack
a
is just
train
stuck my balls and I'm just gonna pull back
over zombies, especially this abomination? But as the train got closer, Twilight started charging.
I may have lied. Maybe I would pull back.
Energy into her horn, and once the train was right on her, she released it,
knocking
the whole train off the track, reminding us just how powerful Twilight is. After this, we see her peering into the hole that she made in the train.
Look her up. Doesn't Applejack have a shotgun?
But before she could get into the cart, a loud horn sounded from the distance, causing Twilight to howl.
The goat? Hold on, is this the car?
The outline
the
of what looks like a pony, but in actuality, this is
the goat. That ain't no zebra, that's a goat. The goat. You cannot go through. There is not a single AU where the car takes an L.
Follow her while Twilight was distracted. So everyone filed out of the train cab and started to follow her into the ever-free forest. But then they heard AJ scream. And when they turned around, they saw Twilight biting down on her foot.
I can't take that serious. Why does the face kind of look goofy?
And while Zakara tried to blow the horn again, it was not loud enough to actually chase Twilight off, so they had to use the train horn instead, which was loud enough to force her to drop AJ, allowing all of the ponies to make it to the forest. Then we get this scene of Scoot hugging Zakara's leg and telling her how happy she is to see her. We also learn that Zakara is heading to Canafly as well, so she agreed to travel together with the other ponies. But as we can see here, AJ is starting to lag behind, and it seems like it's due to the bite that she took from.
Hold on. This is during Rainbow? Oh yeah, I forgot she was a lesbian. By the time you're watching the Pride Month.
Twilight. And when taking a closer look, you can see the rainbow starting to spread from the bite mark. But surprisingly, when the other ponies ask AJ if she's okay, she lies and says she's fine, keeping her.
She's a horrible liar. Ain't no way that she's stuck with that. Ain't no freaking way she's stuck with that. They all stuck with that.
A secret from the group. In the next chapter, we learn that Zakara was linked up with Starlight when the outbreak first happened, but the two of them ended up splitting up because Starlight wanted to find a cure, while Zakara thought it might be best to lie low. But she did tell Starlight that if she could find one of those cookies that started the virus, she might be able to use it to make a cure. But once Starlight left, Zakara never heard from her again, and she was forced to later leave her hut because the infected were closing in on her location. And while she was on the run from the infected, she learned that if you cover yourself in mud, it will make it harder for the zombies to track you down because they won't be able to get your.
I'm black. Does that mean I'm okay?
which causes this
I
little
just
cute
get
scene
naked.
with all the ponies jumping into the mud puddle, except for
Don't
Rare.
click me on that, by
Takes
the
a
way.
bit more convincing, but nobody's surprised about
And no surprise, of course, Little Miss Rarity, of course, she's gonna take a sweet out time.
that. After that, the group sets off for Canterlot on foot, the trip now taking 3 days instead of 3 hours because they don't have the train anymore. But before they can get very far, we see AJ collapse. In the next chapter, we get this image of the ponies trying to
She
keep
looks pale as
AJ
shit.
upright, and seeing how sick she is, Scoot is worried that they won't make it to Canterlot together. And AJ tries to console her by saying, "Don't worry, Sugar Cube, it's just a little head cold." But as we all know, AJ is a terrible liar, so none of the ponies are really buying that. The walk through the forest got much slower after that, since AJ could barely move, and as the sun started to set, the ponies decided to make camp for the night. And even though it felt like they were being watched the whole time, they managed to get a fire going and get some sleep. But that next morning, AJ revealed that she could no longer
Scootaloo,
run, and after Jakara checked
To those who watched it, that one episode, I know them for a fact, Scootaloo is shitting bricks right now.
on her, she
And speaking of the devil, here's my brother. Hey, yo, we're currently reacting to the cookie infection. Are you about to say? Sorry about that interaction.
decided that AJ couldn't go on and said that she would stay here with her while the other ponies go on to Canterlot because the other ponies still need to be warned. And while Pinky is against this idea because she feels like the two of them would just be sitting ducks out here alone in the woods, Zakara is eventually able
Just
to
kill her.
to agree to
Let her
leave.
die.
But then we hear AJ whisper Rainbow's name. And surprisingly, she asks Rainbow to stay with her instead of Zakara. And as the other ponies are leaving, AJ admits that she's been keeping a secret from the others. And then she removes the blanket and
Jesus.
reveals her body, and more
God dang. She f***ed you up real good.
specifically,
Couldn't
how
even meet
much
him.
the infection has spread. And then we get this heartbreaking interaction where Rainbow is trying to figure out a way to stop or slow the infection, but AJ stops her by saying, "I know what you need to do. You need to kill me. Please, Rainbow, it's too late for me."
Jesus, as soon as this video is over, I'm going to sleep because I'm about to say stuff tonight inside of a dictionary. But if I was inside a situation that Rainbow, then I'm about to slice her neck up inside of a heartbeat. I don't care what the frick you say. I don't care what romantic feelings I had for you. I'm about to cut you up. I'm putting a shotgun straight to your forehead with no hesitation.
I can feel the virus reaching my heart, and eventually it'll reach my brain. Then I'll become one of them, and I'll kill you all. Please, 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 Rainbow. I need to die in order to save you. And not knowing what to do,
That sounds
Rainbow
suicidal.
just says no. But AJ continues, saying, "Rainbow, you don't understand. If you don't kill me now, I don't know what I'm going to become, and I can't keep you all safe. It's me. I
Don't care.
want you to do it. If you do it, then I'll be able to see my family again. I'll be able to see my sister again."
I think
Little
there's
apple.
still
After that, we see
conscious.
that Rainbow is still struggling, saying that she can't go through with this without her knowing. She then mumbles, "I love you," which clearly catches AJ off guard, but she simply responds by saying, "Please do this for me."
If this
For
is
us.
ship, I
But
swear to
Rainbow
God.
is unable to grant this last wish, and she runs off, leaving AJ to
Alright,
go
what
through this
infected she
terrible
gonna look into now?
transformation all by herself. And I don't know about y'all, but this reminds me a lot of the first Walking Dead Telltale game, where Clementine has the option to leave Lee to turn, or she can take him out so that he doesn't become a walker. Put down in the comments, do you think Rainbow is right to leave her here
Kill him,
to turn,
kill him,
or
kill
do you
him,
think
kill
she
him.
should have done
Kill
the
him.
merciful thing and
Let
taken
it die, let her die, let her shoot him to her. Oh, frick.
Can I land
and taking her out. In the next chapter, we get to see AJ
Yo!
transformation, and she looks like a absolute
Demon!
But we also learn that she is a new kind of infected called the Bitten. And it turns out that just like with the other infected,
That ain't your friend
she has
anymore.
stages. And if you can amputate the bitten area early on, you can stop the spread of the infection. But this is kind of like a double-edged sword in the My Little Pony universe, because the issue here is that horses are not like people. So if you're a three-legged horse, you're going to have a really hard life, while a human with one leg can probably still get around fairly well, especially if they have a cane or something of the like. I'm not saying it's going to be an easy life, but they'll still be able to get around.
Just cut off
But
both
horses, on the
legs.
other hand, and my horse people
Hear
will
me out.
understand this, they're huge. Some of them can weigh up to a ton or more. So missing a leg will put so much strain on their other legs that it will cause like severe damage to their hooves and also mess up their blood circulation. And this is why so many ranchers kind of just put horses out of their misery if they get a broken leg or an injured leg. It may seem cruel, but in reality, it's kind of a mercy unless the rancher is just like rich and can afford to just have the horse live like a lazy life in a way. Now, when the bitten get to stage 2, we see that the pony starts to get pale, they lose their grasp on reality, and the only way to save them at this point is to just take them out. And if somebody doesn't give them that mercy, they move on to stage 3. And at this point, the pony loses all sanity. And we can kind of tell this just by looking at the eyes. These ponies will attack anything that is living, but the good news is that these guys are really loud and clunky while they hunt, so they are much easier to avoid, at least in stage 3. And then finally, we have the final stage, which is stage 4, and at this point, the bitten ponies' necks have fully twisted and grown twice as long as it originally was.
That's a goddamn zebra. That is no longer a pony, that is a zebra.
Once they hit stage 4, they become deathly quiet with their steps. The only sounds that they make now are these strained groans and screams. And while these guys are really slow, it is still recommended to stay out of the forest because that is where they have the best chance of actually sneaking up on their prey. After this, we get the final chapter, and this is where we see Princess Celestia and Princess Luna in the Canterlot Castle. And Luna has noticed that Ponyville appears to be dreamless, which of course is because—
Man, where the hell you two been? You ain't do jack squat this whole entire thing. Every single AU. It seemed like every single AU I react to, every single AU I watch, these two are non-existent nowhere.
She screams out Applejack's name, and then Dream walks over to her, hoping to find some answers.
Wait a minute.
But then she is—
Nah, if Luna gets infected, they're all cooked. That means, even in their sleep, they can still get caught lacking.
Greeted with pure darkness and hears a groan come from the distance. And this is where she sees AJ in her new form. Then we see this scene where it's just sobs and sniffles. And while I think this is from AJ, it could also be from Princess Luna. Especially when you consider that this next image has like rainbow slime or maybe blood coming from under the door here. Showing that Luna may be—
I know y'all guys can't see it, but my eye just widens very wide. What the flying frick did I just say?
Infected now as well. And I'll just say this, if Luna gets infected,
they're all cooked.
It is wraps for everybody, because that means that people get infected in the dream world. There will be no shot that the rest of the ponies will make it out of this alive or unaffected. Now, I predict that in the next part of the series, the other ponies are going to finally make it to Canterlot and team up with Princess Celestina to try and figure out who created those infected cookies in the first place.
Discord?
And once they're able to figure out what ingredients is causing this reaction, Zakara will likely be able to assist in making some kind of vaccine. They'll just have to buy her enough time and, of course, keep the infected ponies from eating more people. But that's just my theory for now. If you enjoyed this video, here and go support
subscribe to him.
I saw a lot of—
I didn't make this. He is the creator of all this. So see you next time. Until next time, don't stop collecting.